Joining us right now with more on this is the author of War on the West, Fox News contributor Douglas Murray. Douglas, thanks for joining us.
Great to be with you.
Douglas, first off, on the revelation that our strategic oil reserve is going to China and to a company that's associated with Hunter.
Well, I mean, I don't think many people are going to be too surprised about this, but we will, of course, be very worried. The whole issue of the last 6 months of the period since Putin invaded Ukraine is that the Biden administration has tried to put every single thing that has happened on President Putin, on the invasion. And the problem with this is several-fold. One of them is, of course, the American people don't buy it. We know that we had energy problems from the beginning of this administration. We know that President Biden shut down the pipeline. We know that he seems very keen to sort of go as green as possible in the US while having to go around the world begging other people to provide us with oil. So then on top of that, we get this return of the Hunter Biden issue. And this is a reminder of the fact that, the White House can pretend that the laptop was nothing. It can pretend that they don't have to ever address this. The Democrats can pretend that there's no issue. But there is an issue. There's a serious issue for Americans about the question of the Biden family and the way in which they enrich themselves in the Ukraine. And that just has to be addressed at some point. Otherwise, again and again, stories like this are going to come up, and the American people are going to quite rightly be asking, what is it that's being kept from us, and why aren't we being told?
And so few Democrats are standing by and pushing from his good ally, Senator Chris Coons, has been silent since he really took office. The other thing is, you see Vladimir Putin, every time we mention Vladimir Putin, the Putin price hike, we make Vladimir Putin look more powerful to his own people and around the globe. We give him more muscles and give him more endurance to continue to pound the Ukrainians and continue with this war. Why can't he think past his own domestic political fortunes, even though we're not buying it anyway?
Well, remember, Brian, that every single time anything has happened in the world in the recent years, there's been a type of person, the Democrats represent it in America, who says this is a great reason to go green faster. Remember at the beginning of COVID?
Yeah, sure.
All these guys, Klaus Schwab, the WF, all the sort of World Bank types, Trudeau up in Canada, and the Democrats. They all said, the great thing about this coronavirus, it's not only got downsides, it's got upsides. It turns out we can go green faster. I mean, you do wonder whether, for instance, with the Spanish flu a century ago, whether you could find anyone who said, there's an upside to the Spanish flu. But nobody did. But today, whenever there's any down story, there's always a sort of, we can go green faster. We had that as well, of course, in every story in recent years. Well, here we are with some of the consequences of this. The consequence is that we had politicians who had a short-termist energy policy because of an ideologically driven goal around green. They didn't look at the numbers. They didn't look at the facts. They were driven by this particular part of an agenda. And now we find ourselves with one of the consequences. And one of the consequences of this is Vladimir Putin actually is doing very well financially. Thank God he can't spend the money anywhere. But the price of oil has spiked again in the wake of this. The Western sanctions have the risk of actually backfiring. More money is going into Putin's pocket because the price of oil has been hiking up. So this is what comes, Brian, from very ideological people pursuing short-term policies. And I'm afraid it's something that all of us in America are now suffering, and we're feeling it in our pockets.
Yeah, I mean, we have an opportunity forever to get off any dependence on Russia. We can provide the natural gas tomorrow. We could frack, and our allies would appreciate it. It's in the name of national security. Boris Johnson resigned this week. What do you think it means to us here in America?
Well, it's a very sad end to a sad political career, frankly. Boris Johnson managed to achieve one thing. He actually managed to see through the will of the British people who voted to leave the European Union in 2016 and then faced the political elite establishment who didn't want to do what the public asked them to do. Boris Johnson actually got into power with a majority and took us out of the European Union, us British. That was one major achievement. After that, I'm afraid he just floundered. And as I said in the New York Post on Friday, there's a lesson in this for America. There's a lesson in it for all politicians. Boris Johnson, in the end, was driven by events. He was wafted hither and thither by events. Ukraine, coronavirus, and he never really got anything done.
Gotcha.
He oversaw tax hikes under a conservative government. He did almost nothing that was visibly conservative. He went for the sludgy green stuff. He thought he could be a sort of new type of conservative. In fact, he let down his base. He let down the British people. And in the end, I'm afraid it ended his political career. It's a great demonstration of the fact that if you go into politics and don't stick to your principles, in the end, the world will buffet you around and you'll have nothing to show for it as you leave.
Yeah, and guess who's the happiest? Vladimir Putin. He sees a weak president.
Well, sure.
He sees a weak president, and Boris Johnson, he called a clown. And one of his ministers this week said, I think we're going to take back Alaska from America. We look weak. The good news is we're not.
Exactly. And by the way, let me just remind one other thing. All of the years since 2016, the British public were told that Brexit had happened because of Russian collusion. Absolute rubbish. Like they said in 2016 that Trump had been elected because of Russian collusion. All of it was rubbish. But the left around the world did that. Well, actually, you know, Boris Johnson, the one thing he did, as I say, was the Ukraine thing. He did take Ukraine seriously. He was head of the EU. He was ahead of America, actually, in arming the Ukrainians. And Vladimir Putin is scorning him on the way out. So I wonder what those Russia conspiracists think now. Putin never liked Boris Johnson. He certainly didn't like Brexit. He wasn't behind it any more than he was behind Trump. The facts keep on coming out, and I'm afraid there are some people who have their fingers in their ears.
That's why we booked you, Douglas. You always have great opinions on the news that's breaking during the day. I appreciate it. Douglas, thank you very much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.